What's up, you guys? Slumpy Man here from Vice Versa Media. This is the first time you ever hearing the voice. This is the first time you ever hearing me talk. Um, it's cool because I think from now on, after this, I may talk in all my videos and show you guys some things. And it'll just be cool. We can chill. But first time you ever hear me, thank you for listening to the video, listening to my voice, hearing me talk. It's kind of helping me, get out there, help me, kind of gain some confidence in myself. So thank you for listening. Thank you for liking the video if you do, disliking it if you do. I don't care. It's, you're participating. That's the point. Participate in what you believe. But without further ado, let's get into the topic at hand. For the past couple of months, couple of weeks, people have been talking about Drake. Actually, they've been talking more or less about Drake and him copying other people. Now, copying, I wouldn't say it's really the copying aspect. More, it's him kind of getting ideas from people and then using the ideas the way that they do. Um, like when people said that he copied XXX his flow on "Look at Me," I I believe that he did because of the way it sounds, but he didn't copy his lyrics. It's not exactly copying him, but it is kind of taking some inspiration from his flow and some adding, his own stuff to it. Now, depending on whether you believe that this is good, bad, whatever you believe, personally, I think it can be bad because it shows that the artist himself doesn't know how to flow or thinks that this is hot and that he can just take it because he's bigger. People say that Drake didn't know who XXX was. People say that he was just doing it to do it, but other people are saying that he knew who XXX was and he had heard the video for him. He wanted to talk to them. Either way you look at it, it's not exactly copying. It is not, taking the exact things he said and then saying them over a new beat, because that would be copying. This is more or less like taking what he did and then remixing it and putting it in his song. I don't know whether that's good, bad. People view it as bad. To me, I'm kind of in the middle because people take inspiration after other artists, take what they did and they want to be like that, and they use that to their advantage. They use that to help them get out there. Like uh, multiple people do it. Multiple people wanted to be like Eminem. There are a lot of people that sound like Eminem the way he flows, but it's the way he does it that makes it him. If you understand. So I don't understand it. I don't know if you can call it copying. I do understand that it is kind of, in nowadays terms, it is kind of bad. Yeah. But we've heard that Drake can flow on it. Whether that is him or not, I don't know. Maybe he's getting it from someone else. But we have heard multiple Drake songs where he hasn't copied anybody. But this one song, I do believe that he may have, you know, got some inspiration from it, wanted to try it, and tried it on this new song. Uh, there's also the reason to me that this sticks out is after the whole Meek Mill incident. Um, Remember when Meek Mill said that Drake had a ghostwriter, that Drake didn't actually write his own lyrics. To me, I don't know if that's true or not. There's some proof that's kind of points to it maybe being true. There's a lot of things point to it that may be true. Personally, I like Drake as an artist. I like what he does. I like his music. So I'm not gonna stop listening to him because he didn't write his own lyrics. I mean, yeah, that kind of cuts down on the street cred, but honestly, Drake's not really the guy that has the most, cred in the rap game at all. Like, he's pretty much just he's started from the bottom. Now we're here is like pretty much just a metaphor for him. He's not really from the bottom. I mean, he comes from a pretty good, family. Um, so I mean, he's just doing it for himself. He likes doing it. He does it. So he's just doing him. I mean, So I mean, he's saying some. He's used lyrics that were written for him in songs like "Just Hold On, We're Going Home" was actually written by someone else, but in the same context, that was a pop song or a R&B song, whatever you want to call it, and it wasn't a rap song. But I'm not gonna waste any more time talking about this. We're just gonna get straight to it. I was listening to More Life the other day. It dropped a couple of days ago, maybe a week. I don't know how long it's been. Personally, I haven't kept up with the time myself. It's just kind of the days have been going on and on. But was listening to it, and there's one track, Ice Melts. Young Thug was on it. This track was pretty good. I liked the track, solid track. It wasn't bad at all. Don't personally like Young Thug and his music. Well, I like his music, just don't like the way he raps himself. But personally, he sounded pretty good in this song. Drake sounded excellent as well. Well, there was one thing I did know that was very particularly off about the beat. It wasn't off more or less. It was something I noticed that sounded similar to me. So I, did some research. Listened to it for a little bit. Thought in my head, this sounds familiar, and then I had it. Like it was there. This song sounds like broccoli. Um, the song sounds similar to broccoli in my opinion. I don't know if other people think it sounds similar. To me, it does. Um, but I mean, I guess we'll listen to it because this is the point of the video. Is we're gonna listen to them, and then I'm gonna get you guys feedback, and we'll just go from there. So, to me, there's a lot of similarities in it. There's a lot of, you know, the songs aren't exactly the same. Like I was stating previously, he's not exactly copying Broccoli, because then that would, copyright infringement would ensue, things like that. But the songs have similar qualities to them and similar beats to them. To me, that sound make them sound very similar and very, together. So since all this hubba baloo, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is going on, I thought I might as well put the song out there and see what other people think. Put this thing out there and see what people's opinions are. Because I've looked around and there's nothing on it. So I'm gonna play Ice Melts first. I'm gonna play the more precisely the instrumental for Ice Melts, and I'm gonna, then we're gonna play. I'm gonna tell you what I think sounds similar. Then we're gonna play Broccoli, and then I'm gonna play some snippets of both parts where I think they really sound similar, and then we're just gonna I'll discuss on what I think sounds similar, what I think is going on, and the whole Drake copying subject. We're gonna touch on that a little bit more at the end. So without further ado, let's get into this beat right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
King Zuzi.
So that was the instrumental or part of the instrumental to Ice Melts, as you heard. To me, some of the things like to notice that I looked out for, that I found, were the keys, like the piano keys. You'll see that in Broccoli, the piano keys aren't as, I think they're not as fast, but they sound somewhat similar in the ways that they're played. Um, but just the element of the piano keys being there, to me, is one of the major parts. Also, the way when the bass comes in, the bass is kind of that distorted, has that distorted feel, that very low, that very low, distorted kind of feeling that Broccoli kind of had. In a sense, I'm gonna play Broccoli in a second, and I'll let you listen to it and kind of gauge. And then there's like, well, there's one part in particular during the song in which, during the beat in which it sounds similar, and that's gonna be like, I'm gonna point that out to you. I'm gonna give you both similar. So I'm gonna put Broccoli on now, and we're just gonna let you. I'll let you hear that. So, as you heard, there you got the piano keys, and they're not as fast as they are in Ice Melts, but they are there. They're present. They sound similar in the way that they are played. There's kind of a couple chords. Um, Not as fast, like I said. The bass is like a little bit more distorted and not as like it's more, I guess, hard. It's not as like rounded. It's very just kind of in your face. It's not smoothed out. It's as to Ice Melts, the bass is kind of like not as rough. It's not as just it's just rough. It's not. It's pretty smooth. But they do sound similar. The basses sound similar. Also you got the kicks in there in between each bass part in between each part. And then the part like in Ice Melts, there's that flute that kind of plays, or in the background that whistling noise, that kind of flutish noise. You can hear it, and then in the chorus of Broccoli, you can hear. You just heard that flute. They're not the same, but the element, like everything there, to me is like it's almost like he took a a template of Broccoli and kind of like just made everything a little bit different. Just added some more things that weren't in Broccoli, made things different, but it almost sounds, it doesn't sound exactly the same. Again, that copying thing, it's not exactly the same, and it's not technically copying, but in the same sense, it feels like this song was maybe inspired by Broccoli, maybe he wanted to sound like Broccoli, but it does sound really familiar. It does have that familiar. Like I think one track is I forget. I think the track Ice Melts is kind of sped up with the piano keys, but it's slower with like its kicks than Broccoli is. Broccoli has kind of those fast kicks. Also the bass, like I said, one is more smoother than the other. Broccoli has that just hard hitting, bass, very rough. Um, but there again, it's very similar. Now I'm going to show you. There's one part in particular in the song which sounds similar. The way that the bass is hit, like the way it plays out, the way like whenever he hits those notes, those keys, it sounds so like similar to me. It sounds very similar, and I'm gonna play that for you real quick.
Yeah.
So I played both the parts that I thought sounded similar back to back first one was Ice Melts. Um, again, the beats are not the same. Second one was Broccoli. They sounded similar again, like I said, but the beats were not the same. Like one of them had more of a boom 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 boom, and then the other one was kind of a dun 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 dun. The other one was kind of they were similar in the way that they were played, but they're not exactly the same. Like the same, they're not the same notes. They're not the same thing. No, the style was similar. The song, again, I'm just letting people know that this is what I thought. This is what I think, that the beats are similar. I'm not saying that Drake is, he is exactly copied Dram and Drum or whatever, Lil Yachty, but I'm saying that these beats to me sound very similar, and I think I just wanted people to know my opinion and what I thought. You may hate me for it. You may say I'm trying to ride the wave, trying to jump on Drake, uh, hate Drake bandwagon. No, like I stated before, I'm a big fan of Drake. Love Drake's music. All I'm saying is the songs sound similar to me. It's not Drake's fault. I don't know. It's his producer that did it. All I'm saying is to me the songs sound similar. I just wanted to let people know my opinion and how I felt about this. Um, the so that's pretty much it. I played the last two, the parts that sounded very similar in my opinion. I played a snippet of the whole song, let you guys hear pretty much what I heard and see if you could gather a conclusion. Whatever conclusion you may have come to, that's your conclusion. That's what you think. Personally, I said it before. I think they sound the same. Leave your comments below what you think. Do you think they sound the same? What do you What do you think? Do you think they don't sound the same? It's been good talking to you guys. Slumpy Man here from Vice Versa Media. Like to like the video. I mean, subscribe. Do what you gotta do. Don't subscribe. Don't like the video. Don't matter to me. Just have a good day, you guys. Uh, peace out. Love you guys.